Hi, everyone. I opted for the speaker option where you can't see me, but I can see all of you. Just kidding. I'm just having a bad hair day. But first off, thank you to the Waterways Journal for inviting me to speak today. I think it's safe to say that this publication is a staple in the inland towboat industry, and we are all wishing that we were meeting in St. Louis today instead of on here. While this technology is helpful in getting us through this year, I hope we all make an extra effort in the years to come to make it to events like the Inland Marine Expo in person, even if we are wearing masks and taking Purell baths between handshakes. Let's make it happen in 2021. Anyways, my name is Casey Eckstein. I'm a woman, I'm a millennial, and I come from the operator side of the business. There aren't too many women and millennials in the inland towboat industry, so today I'm going to talk about how our industry as a whole can work to change that. I'm going to talk about a nonprofit organization that I work with called Women's Association. I'm also going to tell you about some company qualities that help to attract and retain millennial employees and how my current employer, Atlas Marine Services, recruited me. I started off in this industry in 2014, working for a barge line that my grandfather, Ray Eckstein, founded called Marquette Transportation Company. As many of you already know, women have been and still are underrepresented in our industry. As soon as I started at Marquette, I was given opportunities that many women and some men are not given. As years went by, I was getting to know women through working in boat and barge dispatch and realized that while I was running into their male counterparts at most events, the women were hardly ever there. I would then ask these women over the phone the next day why their male colleague was there, but they were not. The answers were usually, I didn't know about the event, or I wasn't invited to the event, but he was, or I heard about it, but I didn't want to be the only female there. Answers like these drove me to start WIMOS Association. You may have heard it called WEMOS, WIMOS, WIMOS, whatever. I don't really care how you say it. I'm just happy people know about it now. I founded WIMOS Association about 3.5 years into working for Marquette right after I befriended our co-founder, Jenna Gode. Jenna is the CFO at St. John Fleeting, and our relationship really helped strengthen multiple aspects of each other's careers. I had another woman to attend events with me and give me advice on things I didn't want to ask a man, like what outfit should I wear to this event? Believe me when I say nothing brings women together quite like an unclear dress code. At an industry event one night, I was feeling especially grateful for my relationship with Jenna, and I had the idea. So with my vision, Jenna's financial knowledge, and our combined network of supportive industry connections, WIMOS was born. WIMOS was established as a 501c3 nonprofit organization in 2017. Jen and I decided that we needed to be a nonprofit so that we would be able to collect money and then invest that money into our members' education. We are in the midst of developing a sponsorship program that will allow companies and individuals to donate at different tiers. So please reach out to us if you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation that will go towards supporting women in our industry. A little goes a long way with this nonprofit, and thanks to a few donations, we were able to waive all membership dues this year due to COVID-19. Most of our in-person events were canceled this year due to Corona, but like IMX, we shifted to online platforms in order to continue on with our mission. The whole mission of WIMOS is to retain and advance women in the maritime industry through sharing knowledge and continuing education. Knowledge and network are power, so we are simply giving women the tools to achieve more. Our membership is limited to women who work for operators in order to ensure that we maintain an educative environment. This way, we are learning from one another, not selling to each other. The WIMOS principles can be broken down into the 3 E's: educate, engage, elevate. Through education, you will remain engaged. It has been scientifically proven that engagement is the root of retention. If you are continuously educating yourself and remaining engaged in your day-to-day work and goals, you are going to elevate yourself and others. The WIMOS 3 E's are the backbone of this organization's mission in all current chapters. In just 3 short years, we've grown to over 400 individual members and over 100 member companies. WIMOS has chapters with full boards in Southern Louisiana, Paducah, Kentucky, and Houston, Texas. Our Louisiana board is comprised of Marquette, Turn Services, ADM, and L&L Marine. Our Paducah, Kentucky board is made up of women who work for Ingram and Marquette, Our Houston board is comprised of women who work for Sabine Surveyors, Field 66, ACBL, and Kirby. That's a pretty strong lineup right there. We have seed chapters in the Pacific Northwest, Ohio Valley region, and most recently, Jacksonville, Florida. I am personally very excited about the Jacksonville, Florida chapter, because that is where I am from, and the new corporate member that is putting us on the map there is Crowley Maritime. Crowley is the operator and manager of the largest American flag petroleum and chemical tank vessel fleet. They are headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida as well. The Maritime Giant has offices all over the world, so we are very excited about where this partnership will take women. So now you know who we are and where we are, and now I'm going to tell you what we do. I'm going to expand upon just a few of these action items on the next few slides, but quickly I'll just shed a little extra detail on what we do when there's not a pandemic looming over us. We host quarterly networking meetings at each chapter. Our educational experiences can include things like webinars on environmental safety and health, or even professional motivational speakers. I'll touch on strategic partnerships here in a minute. Our membership directory is offered to paying members only. We also just launched our new website, wimos.org. We had an old one, but we just revamped it, so go check that out. We're going to continue to develop this site to host things like industry podcasts. We also have a quarterly newsletter that you can sign up for on this website. Even if you're not a member or a woman, you can sign up for this newsletter, and you can do that through our website, wimos.org. Each chapter also participates in community service like food drives, blood drives, and river cleanups. We also strive to get our members to attend industry events. We have had success with this by doing things like entering WIMOS teams into industry golf tournaments and doing group walkthroughs at the IMX in St. Louis and other industry events. During non-pandemic years, we are hosting in-person events sometimes multiple times a month. My personal favorites are lunch and learns and operational tours. Most of our hosts for these lunch and learns sponsored the lunching and the learning, so we thank you for that. From left to right, you have the WIMOS the WIMOS group here at CHS Terminal in Myrtle Grove. The second picture, you have the Port of South Louisiana, who hosted us for a lunch and learn. The operational tour at CNC Marine and Repair is the third picture, and we toured a Marquette Transportation Z Drive that was under construction. And the fourth picture is us at Associated Terminals in Convent, Louisiana, on one of their crew boats. Here's a few more. So from left to right, you've got a lunch and learn with Cooper Consolidated in New Orleans. Picture 2, you have Pleasant Power Station lunch and learn in the Ohio River Valley. Alice Momini put this together through Marathon Petroleum. When WIMOS was just an idea, Alice's boss at the time, George Maxey, was super supportive. His support is a big reason why I'm now working for him at Atlas Marine. The third picture here is a lunch and learn at Cargill's grain export terminal in West Wego. That was in May 2018. At these events, everyone wins. The women love it. The hosting company gets some great exposure. Usually the crews are excited. And I think that the most rewarding part can sometimes be for the people who get to see the pure passion and excitement on these women's faces. At Cargill's West Wego facility grain tour, we were able to see a ship come in from Hong Kong way before coronavirus. We had some women from Crescent Towing there, and they were able to see their team assist the ship in and dock it. These women billed for ship assist almost every day, yet had never seen it in action. They were loving it, and I was too. I'd never seen any of these things happen right in front of me before, yet I found myself watching the reactions of my fellow WIMOS almost more than the action in front of me. We were then allowed to board the ship, tour it, and watch some stevedoring action. And boarding a ship filled with foreign men who hadn't seen women in weeks may have been an intimidating experience, but we were also comfortable because we had each other, close to 30 WIMOS members. It's safe to say that the cruise day was probably made as well. So strategic partnerships, I mentioned that earlier when we were looking at the wheel. We've done several Who Works the River events with RiverWorks Discovery. We also make a small monetary donation to Riverworks every year. Siemens Church, we've done a program with them called Christmas on the River, where we reach out to local schools to have children make Christmas cards. American Waterways Operators, better known as AWO, has recently joined our list of partners and sponsors. AWO CEO Jennifer Carpenter reached out to us and offered to sponsor a 3-part virtual series that began in August. The second session was in September, and the third session will be on October 14th. These are free to WIMOS members right now, which really means free to any potential members. So go sign up for our third session on our website. You've got the link right there on the website, so it's pretty simple. Living Lands and Waters, we've done river cleanups with that organization for the last 2 years in Cincinnati, and we also make a small monetary donation to that organization every year. These strategic partnerships and many others have led to a lot of positive press over the last 3 years. So we just can't thank all of these publications enough. The Waterways Journal has been supported from day one. We've been featured in the Law Observatory of the Port of South Louisiana, Biz New Orleans Magazine, Paducah Business Journal, Professional Mariner, Marine Log. We also have a Marine Log Magazine podcast coming out in early October, so stay tuned for that. But again, I just want to say the Waterways Journal has given us a ton of support from day one. So I want to just give you guys a huge thank you. And also they are today's host of the Inland Marine Expo. So this is our executive board. All of the employers listed here who they work for have been extremely supportive too. St. John's Fleeting helped so much right out of the gate. Cargill and Marathon have hosted and organized educational events. And Ingram has recently committed to becoming our very first annual sponsor, which will help launch our new sponsorship program. So thank you, Ingram. These women are incredible. The only credit I can really take for this organization is picking the perfect people to lead it. Because of their passion and work ethic, I felt comfortable taking a 5-month trip around the world, not even 2 years after our founding, and these women didn't skip a beat. Before this trip, I would not have felt comfortable and knowledgeable enough about Millenials to speak to you about it today. But after 5 months of adventuring with my generation, I gained a holistic perspective as to what drives Millennials and how we as an industry can help attract and retain them in the maritime industry. Okay. All right. Hopefully everyone's still there. It's kind of different because I can't hear anyone else and everyone can only hear me, but this is where I was supposed to be. So I'll just start where I left off. So anyways, back to Millennials. So Millennials in maritime. Millennials is what most people call us. We're also known as Gen Y or Gen We or the Boomerang generation, or my personal favorite is the Peter Pan generation. This one means that we are in denial about our age, as in we think we are a lot younger than we actually are, which is hands down my favorite thing about my generation. I also just really love the movie Peter Pan. Anyways, we go by many names, and we were born roughly between 1980 and 2000. I was born in 1990, so I fall right smack in the middle of this generation. Around the time that I graduated college, Time magazine released an article titled Millennials, the me generation, which called us lazy, entitled, self-obsessed narcissists. Ouch. On the other hand, we've been called open-minded, liberal, self-expressive, upbeat, and overtly passionate about equality. I prefer to think that we are just like the best generation ever to exist, and we're going to change the world. That was a millennial joke, people. Again, I can't read the audience, so just want to make that clear. In 2016, millennials surpassed all generations as the largest portion of the workforce. Yet I think we can all agree we still don't see quite enough of them in our industry. Being the meers that we are, there are like a million things we demand our employer represents before we agree to, God forbid, work. But I did my best to pick the 3 most simple and reasonable demands: diversity, technology, and philanthropy. So the tricky thing about diversity is it's difficult to achieve until you already have it. Like a job. Employers want you to have experience to get the job, but you can't get the experience until you get the job. But we have to start somewhere. You have to start making the effort. Studies show that a diverse workplace is an important factor for millennials when accepting a job. So this is something that we don't normally see in the maritime industry. And I actually had a couple of different pictures on here, but we uploaded these in PDF form, so it's not really showing through. Again, please bear with me. This technology is new to all of us. So basically, I was going to show you a picture of some non-diverse pictures, and then a picture of a diverse crowd, but that diverse crowd picture is not showing up. But anyways, basically, a diverse crowd is more warm, friendly, and interesting, and would be considered more welcoming to most people, like a millennial interviewee. This picture that's being shown is not the diverse picture that I was going to show. Anyways, the millennials care deeply about diversity, and they're suspicious of companies that only seem to pay lip service to the issue without really doing anything about it. This means emphasize your company's commitment to diversity and inclusion across all your employer branding channels, but don't be afraid to admit where you're falling short. Acknowledging that you still got work to do and showing that you're taking positive steps will help build trust with millennial candidates. It shows that you take the issue as seriously as they do. Studies show that a diverse workplace is an important factor for millennials when accepting a job. Millennials also value and are most willing to stick with companies that have diverse management teams. Like I mentioned before, the maritime industry is pretty diverse, but there are ways to diversify our workplace, and millennials are one of them. I truly believe that if we leverage what we already have working for us, we will be able to attract more millennials. The easiest way to tote the cool things that we do in this industry in front of millennials is through social media, yet not many companies in our industry are doing that. So technology, as I mentioned, is something that millennials really care about. There's no doubt that a majority of this generation is more tech savvy than other generations. This means that make sure your company and team stay up to date on advances in technology. Millennials like to work smart, not hard. So up to date technology is essential to efficiency. I put TowWorks on here. Companies like Ingram, ACL, LaBeouf, Cargill, and Gillespie are already taking advantage of this technology. It sounds like it makes your tow work smarter, not harder. Make your application process fast and easy by allowing people to apply for positions on LinkedIn. As you can see here, it's a very powerful tool. On this one post, I had almost 10,000 views. So that's pretty cool. So millennials know everything there is to know about social media because we are quite literally living in it. We are constantly examining Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. It's how we share and get information. Therefore, if your company isn't employing social media effectively, millennials will think you're irrelevant. That's harsh, but true. So keep your social media outlets active at all times. This doesn't mean constantly posting jobs or product updates. Try to start conversations that will engage your audience. Talk about topics that relate to your company or will interest your followers, like Ingram did here, which is giving facts about a cause that most millennials care about, the environment. So philanthropy, as a whole, millennials tend to be generous with their time, money, and influence. This generation is passionate about social causes that benefit the greater good. There was a Forbes article published in 2017 titled, "Want to Engage Millennials? Try Corporate Responsibility." In that article, it was stated that millennials are more likely than other generations to research the issues a company supports and the extent to which the company contributes. In addition to WIMOS, another nonprofit in our industry is called Living Lands and Waters. If you sponsor enough, they even offer engagement opportunities for your employees. They are supported heavily by our industry. So if you're looking for a good cause that all of your employees can get passionate about, look no further. They have removed over 10.5 million pounds of trash from our nation's waterways, and our industry as a whole is approaching close to $1 million in annual contributions to this organization. All of the companies listed here donated more than $10,000 to this organization. So if you need a cause or want cleaner waterways, join these companies and start helping to protect the water that we all depend on. Diversity, technology, and philanthropy, 3 factors that are important to millennials when deciding on an employer. Now, I have just enough time left to share how WIMOS and my generation's core values helped set the stage for my current role as Director of Business Development at Atlas Marine Services. I met my current boss back when he was working at Marathon, and I shared my vision for WIMOS with him. His name is George Maxby, and his support meant a lot. So when he called to recruit me to Atlas, I was interested immediately. Atlas Marine Services is a marine refueling company that was established just over a year ago. Today, Atlas Marine is providing refueling services in Lake Charles, Port Arthur, Houston, and Corpus Christi. While Atlas Marine is currently only in these markets, our parent company, Atlas Oil, is one of the largest oil distributors in the country, delivering over 1 billion gallons of fuel annually to customers in 49 states. Atlas showed its commitment to the industry right out of the gates by purchasing its first piece of equipment instead of chartering. This is the Atlas Sail 900 horsepower shallow draft lugger tub with a 25,000 gallon cargo tank. Well, she appears to be just a cute little thing. She is out there hustling and making it rain, mostly in Houston. Atlas is here to disrupt the market. So if you ever have vessels needing fuel in these markets, please contact me after this presentation so we can work on earning your business. So here's my diversity slide where I'll quickly mention that Atlas Marine's leadership team is now 50% women, which is pretty cool. However, Atlas's founder, Sam Simon, played a huge role in recruiting me to the company as well. Sam represents diversity in many dimensions, culture, race, and in business. Sam immigrated to the U.S. from Iraq as a child. He then launched Taylor-based Atlas Oil Company in 1985 with a single truck and a credit card and built it into a $1 billion a year fuel wholesaler. He is the sole owner of Atlas Oil, as well as the investment group called Simon Group Holdings. Simon Group Holdings runs 13 other successful and diverse businesses, which includes technology. So Atlas has a lot of different technology through the Simon Group Holdings and through our parent company, Atlas Oil, and we're working on implementing some of that on the marine side. While Sam's story and passion attracted me to the company, it was Atlas's technology that really sealed the deal. Atlas is a leader in the energy industry, and we see an opportunity to leverage technology to fundamentally change the way we do business. We bring innovative solutions to the market that provide better service and value to our customers. These improvements streamline our operations and help our clients make smarter, more cost-effective decisions. We are using the success on the land side to create a first-of-kind marine fuel automation solution. This will essentially be a digital technology for cargo handling and transfers, turning the barge into an automated digital data center. Basically, it's new technology that will help us all work smart and more efficiently. So I told Sam, okay, sign me up, but you have to help me promote WIMOS too. Sam Simon makes philanthropy a priority for all the business units and communities that he operates in. He's committed, prolific, and passionate in his charitable work. Sam credits his success to the American dream. So one of the many causes that he supports is our military because they're putting their lives on the line to protect our American dream. This is a picture of the annual base party that he throws every year at the bottom. See, Atlas recruited me through a diverse story, innovative technology, and philanthropic efforts. Here is me doing my best Peter Pan impression, bungee jumping in New Zealand last year. I am not too hard to find, but here are a few ways to reach me. And if you feel like reading a few entertaining travel stories, you can check out the blog that I did not keep up with here at laughingallovertheworld.com. I literally traveled all over the world, and I couldn't find anything that I loved more than our unique and diverse maritime industry. It was an honor to present to you all today, and thank you for your time and attention. If anyone has any questions, you can message me in the group chat here. I'm going to also put my email address here in the group chat, and you can follow up with me on my email anytime. If you would like to hear about our marine fueling services at Atlas, if you want to inquire about joining WIMOS, or if you just, want to connect for any other reason, just let me know. I see one question on here, so just 1 second, let me read it. So if the question is, I mentioned applying for jobs and making that easier on LinkedIn. Do I think this applies for shoreside positions or vessel positions as well? It's a really good question. I'm not sure how many captains and crew members are active on LinkedIn, so it really just depends on, if they're utilizing that platform. I would say that, that it's probably I honestly have no idea how to answer that question. I don't know how many are on there. I would say it can't hurt. I mean, why not put it on there? And if you have these, the crew members on LinkedIn using that platform to apply for jobs, then they're probably some pretty savvy people. So I'd say go for it. I'm going to wait another minute or two for any other questions that might roll in, and then I'm going to log off. But again, thank you all so much for your time. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. I think my Wi-Fi went out or something like that, so it wasn't the IMX's issue. Got one more question that just came in. Seeing as how many people in our industry start their careers on vessels, how do you think we can connect more women to opportunities on board? That is a great question. I think that the best way to start connecting women to more opportunities that are on board is to just educate them about how it all works out there, get them out on the boats, even if they're working shoreside or maybe they're not even in the industry. Maybe we can start hosting events where we can talk about the different opportunities that are out there and the opportunities for advancement on these boats. So I think that really it's just making them aware of the opportunities that are out there. Because I mean, I even talk to different men all the time. I was just giving my little brother advice the other day about, how he can, start launching a career from essentially, no experience. And you got to start somewhere. So I just think there's so much opportunity if you can get in, even, just start as a deckhand, work your way up to the wheelhouse. I think it's just a lot of people don't know about it out there. So we need to just make sure women know that that's an option for them out there. Obviously, um, it's going to take a very strong woman to get out there and work on the towboat, but hey, they can do it. Got another question on here. Actually, it was more of a comment. So there's a smaller, this is a captain that I know. He just let me know that a smaller percentage of captains are on LinkedIn than on other social media platforms. So, but he sees more and more of them moving over to LinkedIn every day. So that's great. I do see that I do find that you can reach a lot of captains um, on different groups on Facebook. They have a lot of different communities on Facebook that you might be able to reach them on. Towboaters and What We Do on Facebook is a good one. So anyways, we've got just another minute until I think it's going to log me off. So I think I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. And again, feel free to reach out to me on my email. It is kxstein@atlasoil.com. So see you guys later.